We want to welcome Katie and Angelo from the SEO Marketing Masters. They are an agency that specializes in online presence for small businesses. They have spoken for different organizations around the U.S. and are here to share with you all of their secrets about how to successfully establish your business online. Katie, Angelo, you're up.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wyatt. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Wyatt, from Brownstone Gray, and everybody that put this event together. We're super, super excited to be here. I mean, what a great time to share, no?
Yeah.
It's, with everything going on, we're really excited to share all of our secrets with you and expect you to apply all of those and succeed. No?
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and hop into the presentation.
All right, so this is the famous digital marketing survival guide. And the reason we put all of this together is because a lot of people are having trouble with this, and this became so essential when the whole COVID thing hit.
Yes.
Okay, everybody was unprepared for what this was going to do to their business. And we decided to put all of this together in a way to, not to show off what we know, but actually to show you all the different pieces in very easy language on how you can establish your business online effectively and fast.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves.
All right, so as Wyatt introduced us, we are the SEO Marketing Masters. And basically what we do is we're big in educating our clients. So basically showing them kind of how the whole machine works online, how your whole online presence can get established online. So we do that by helping you get found in more places online. We help you get paid digitally, which is very important in this contactless time, and also nurture relationships with your customers. So this helps to turn customers that would normally just be like a one-time customer into a lifetime customer. So as a result of COVID, I'm sure every single person in this webinar has been affected in some way or another. For the first statistic, they interviewed a lot of small businesses in this study done by Veeam, and it says that over 80% of US small businesses expect a longer term impact of the pandemic. So this means that this isn't something that, okay, it was just a couple, 3 months, and then the fourth month we're gonna get over it. This might be a long-term kind of thing that people are expecting it to affect their business for a long time. Maybe some of you too have had to maybe fire some of your employees, or maybe now, since we're reopening, there's some difficulty in rehiring because of the unemployment benefits and everything. So that's kind of a concern in business. There's kind of this fear of a second wave too. So a lot of uncertainty, right? So people are, okay, the first wave, okay, we made it through, but maybe there's this uncertainty of a second wave. So there's a lot of fear out there. And just in terms of policy, there's this increased demand for no contact business policies. So that's kind of forcing this technological revamp onto small businesses. Whereas before, this whole digital marketing thing was kind of like a luxury. Now it's a necessity for the survival of your business. So taking that all into consideration, what we want to do for you today is this might be a little bit different than some other digital marketing webinars that you've been to, because we're not planning on going into detail about exactly what you should be posting or going into one detail of one part. We want to show you the entire machine. So you can think of this kind of digital marketing guide as a whole machine, and you see the entire thing here. So our job is to show you how that works, how to get completely established online, because there's a lot of confusion with people, and it can be very overwhelming. So yeah.
As you can see, there's not that many pieces, which is a good thing. I mean, the idea of this is that all of these marketing terms and online presence and what does that mean, and I don't have time to learn it, probably you're thinking. And now you can see it in front of your eyes, that is not that many pieces. And we're gonna go over them, each one, and explain you what each one means. And hopefully you can take notes about this, okay? And really, really apply it to your business. So the first thing that we have is the people. Right. And I know this could sound very simple, but this is a digital, right? An online space. Okay, so everything starts with what we call a Google search. And everybody that is looking for a service or a product is going to be looking at Google first.
Yep.
First they're going to go probably to their network, and they probably will jump on Google and see what other options they have.
So Google is the biggest search engine. That's why we're focusing on it. But it's typically the one that the people, which would kind of be like the fuel in this machine, what you're inputting into your online presence machine, they're going to be looking probably on Google. So as you can see, it owns 91% of the search market in the entire world, which is pretty much the entire thing, processes 100 billion searches per month. So, a little portion of those are the people searching for your keyword. So, your company or your industry in Cleveland, Ohio, those are potential customers that are searching every single month.
Exactly. So from all of these people, which are probably millions that are searching every single day, every single second, probably looking for a service or a product, then Google has the big task that they have been perfecting for years now on how to get the best results in front of that user. So back in the day, it used to be just a website, right? Google would pull up whoever had a website in, and every time they had been considering more and more aspects into this, what they put in front of the user. So the three ways nowadays that you can get found online is through these three different ones that you can see right there. So through listings, through a website, and through your social media. Okay, these are the three ways you can get found online, that your business can be found online. So what do we mean by listings? We're gonna dive into each one and explain you what do they mean and kind of like what you need to have in your business to be able to attract that person to call you.
Right. So listings before, how this would work is they would send out the huge yellow book,
Back in the day, yeah.
Yellow pages, and they'd send it all out to every single person. And then if you needed somebody in your industry, you would just look them up on the paper and circle them and call them, right? So now they have online listings, and I'm sure you're familiar with Google, I'm sure you're familiar with Yellow Pages or Yelp, all the online ones, but now there's even Facebook and all these different social media platforms are now search platforms or review platforms. So that's kind of gaining popularity in how people find you online. And the thing that's very important about this is that you have to have all your information correct online. So when people look for you, they have the correct number, they have the correct address, you have the correct list or hours of operation. And through this, people are able to find you in more places online, which means that you have an increased likelihood of them going with your business.
Yeah. It's like throwing a bunch of 60 baits when you go fishing, right? And Google is gonna be, is gonna see the consistency of your information throughout the web, and it's gonna say, okay, this is the same business.
Right.
As soon as you start changing the name in a different platform, Google automatically thinks that it's a completely different business.
Right.
So we encourage you to have the same name and the same hours of operation and all the other information everywhere on the web. It has to match exactly.
Right. So the first element of this is claiming your business. So I'm sure a lot of you on your Google listing, this is where you pop up on Google, a little square on the side, that you have to claim your listing on there first. So that just means you go on, if you can just check very quickly, we'll show you an example in a minute. And if it says, do you own this business? Then that means that you have to claim it. So this is important so you can make these tweaks that we're talking about. So these are a couple of the review sites that are the most popular. So Google My Business, Amazon, which may not be relevant to construction companies, but Facebook, again, a lot of people don't think of social media as a search platform, but is very relevant. Yelp. So as you can see, these are very, very important sites for you to get found on.
Right. Look at Angie's list. 4.44 million people are doing a monthly, searches in the US. So that could be super relevant for everybody in the construction industry, plumbers, roofers, electricians. The Better Business Bureau is driving a bunch of people every month. So check out the column that says average monthly US traffic, and you can see that Google My Business is the leading one. And the other ones are not to be dismissed. Like we say, Google like that you have more baits, right, in the water.
Yeah.
But as you can see, having a Google My Business listings is probably the thing that we encourage you to do the most right when we finish this webinar.
Yes.
That you should go and tweet that. So if you haven't checked, if you haven't claimed your Google listing, we made this for you. Quickly, you go to google.com/mybusiness, very simple. And the platform is very easy to use. If you have a Google listing already, just type your business name where it says type your business name. And then if it shows up, then you can complete the verification process or you can edit all the information. If you don't have a Google My Business account, you will click on where it says add your business to Google. And then as you can see, and then you will follow all the different steps that they're going to show you. They're going to send you a number, a verification number to your location, the location that you said that you have a business in. So that's a way for them to avoid, right, fake addresses and stuff. Once you have gone through the verification process, you will have access to what you see on the right, which is your business. In this case, it's our business. And where you can upload all of your pictures. Hopefully you have professional, nice looking pictures where it shows kind of the great attitude of your business and how professional you are. And you can fill out the other thing we've been talking about the last few minutes, which is all of your information. And here, once again, make sure that all of your information is correct. Because, for example, when it comes to hours of operation, you don't want to show that you are servicing on Sundays and somebody shows up on a Sunday and then nobody's there. Right. Consider that lead,
gone forever.
Lost.
That fish swam away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's make sure of that. Let's be responsible of that. Is very, very, very important because that's the customer side of things, the customer experience.
Right. So we can't really talk about listings without talking about reviews as well. This is a very, very crucial part of your online listings for your online presence in this area. So basically kind of the formula to have kind of a good online reputation, they call it, is to make sure that you have positive reviews. So this means that anything from 4 stars to 5 stars is considered a good online reputation. So that's by, you can ask people to give you reviews, and, if you do a good job and you're confident in the service that you've given, then you can feel confident asking them to leave you a review on Google and you'll get those positive reviews. Google also likes that you have recent reviews. So that means it takes into consideration reviews from the past 3 months in terms of ranking. So if you have good reviews, recent reviews, Google is likely to rank you higher. And again, that's you usually have to have a system in place or asking your customers regularly for reviews so you can have those recent reviews on Google. It's also important that you have several reviews. Now, this is different for different industries. So maybe in the cleaning industry, you have to kind of do a little bit of research. If you go on Google and you put, cleaning companies in Cleveland or your remodeling company in Cleveland, and you see that, okay, all my competition, they all have 10 reviews and I have 2. So that means, okay, to be kind of competitive with them, I need about 9 or 10 more. So it's all relevant to your industry. And then the last one is something that people don't really know about a lot of the time is you have to respond to reviews. Now, this is important not only just for the customer experience, because if you happen to get a not so great review under 3 stars or below, if you just leave it there, you're kind of admitting fault. New customers that are searching and they're seeing that bad review and you didn't answer, it doesn't look very good. So when you respond to it and you say, hey, I'm so sorry that happened. Here's the company number to fix it. You're going to take care of that. It looks good for new customers. And also they might change the review later on, which happens. So it's not only good for the customer side, but it's also good for Google because they're seeing that you're active. So it's another part of ranking you a little bit higher. So that's the listings portion. So that's one part of how you get found. So we wanted to show you quickly just an example of listings. So I put in here, just for an example, commercial cleaning in Ohio. Okay, so as you can see, what gets taken into consideration here, this is just an example. As you can see, it has a little ad here. That means that someone is paying to be shown at the top. So, but you know, I'm hoping that they have a good listing, because if they're paying, then they should have all these things taken care of. So as you can see, they have a good rating. So that's 4.9 stars. Anything above 4 is great. They have 54, which as you look at the competition, they're killing it. You know, 0 reviews, 3 reviews. So they obviously have a lot more reviews than the competition. They have their address here. They have all their hours of operation, their phone number, and really nice pictures. So that's great. I would say really the only thing here to critique would be that they're not responding to reviews. So that could help them a little bit more with their organic ranking. But this will be a good example of, you know, when someone comes to your business, that you're going to stick out when you have those pictures there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think just to highlight a little bit, we talk a lot about Google, and that can be kind of confusing. So the way I want you to understand Google is that it's a machine, right? Okay, it's a machine, and there are things that they take into consideration. But what they're trying to do is to emulate human behavior more and more and more. So all the tweaks that they do and what they consider now that they didn't consider in the past, it's all based on data of customer behavior. So we don't have to go crazy like, oh, what does Google want? What does Google want? Just think about how would you react when you see a business that, for example, on the left side looks like this. No reviews.
And you don't
no
know anyone
directions.
at the company. Yeah, you only have Google to go off of.
Look at this. Is that something that you would go to? And hopefully none of them, or hopefully this company, people are in this webinar, so they could learn about this stuff. But how better would it be to click on something like this, right?
At least a picture, right?
And look at this. The other thing I wanted to highlight is that it's very important, and I know you guys know this, the pain points of your customers. So when we ask for reviews, a huge plus would be that you ask reviews, but aimed towards those pain points. So for example, communication. Let's say your customers are really, you know, one of their pain points is they really want communication. They're looking to communicate with you. They want you to be a good communicator. Then ask them to, if they would leave a review, that they would highlight something like that. Hey, what do you think our communication is?
Right.
And then you will have a review that talks about communication. It can talk about your service. It can talk about your staff. So for some people, those are very relevant stuff to know. Not just have a positive review, is have it aimed towards something that is even, it kicks it up even a notch more, right? So very easy, like Katie said, a good score, a good amount, and that they're talking about your services, right? About your etiquette on how you do business. So we did listings, right? Hopefully so far so good for everybody. Hopefully everybody understood that.
That's one way you pop up when people search.
That's one way you pop up, and it's one of the main ones, okay? And the second way you can get found, and this is not in like relevance order or anything, it can be anything, right? Is through your website. So Katie, why don't you talk a little bit about websites?
Yeah, so with websites, I'm sure many of you have a website. We hear from a lot of our clients, you know, I already have a website, so I don't need to worry about it, you know, but a website serves a purpose. The purpose is for people to be able to find it first, and then for people that are finding it to turn into customers. So we just want to kind of cover the basic elements, kind of the essentials of a good website, which of course, if the most important part is for it to get found, that you have to appear on the first page of Google. And this basically, like if you're on the second or third page, you might as well be on the 100th. So it's very important that you're getting on the first page of Google. That you use appealing and relevant language. So this has to do with your industry and kind of with this marketing sales language. And if you're doing your website yourself, you can look at other companies, you know, cleaning company and Cleveland. If you look up the first person that ranks on there, look at their page, look at bigger companies. What kind of language are they using that's appealing to someone who's going onto your page? As I mentioned, it drives visitors to contact you or to buy from you. So this means that you have a call to action website. We'll show you an example in a minute of what we mean by that, but that's kind of what you want your visitors to do. It contains all your business information. You have your email, you have your phone number, you have your address, all right in the front when someone comes to your page without you even scrolling down. And then Angela's going to talk a little bit more about the two parts of your website, which is the visual or the design part of your website, and then the technical or SEO part of your website.
Perfect. All right, so we have here some graphics, and you can see two examples. These are two of our clients, okay? And very, very, very simple. The visual part, what's very important for you guys to understand is a website has to look nice, okay? Let's avoid, you know, some, a lot of people say, oh, I have a website, whatever. You see it is not that appealing, okay? The design has to be nice. It has to be appealing, okay? You can say, oh yeah, but I have all the information there, whatever. Let's put a little, let's refresh it. Let's take this time of COVID to be able to refresh what we have online. So what you wanna look at is basically your color palette, make sure that it's attractive, it looks nice, it looks clean. And the other aspect is look at all the information at the top. Let's go to this one first. Look at the information at the top. I have my hours of operation. I have my email. I mean, not our email, but our client's email and our client's phone number. As you can also see right below that, there's a button that says get started. Right below, you have the header area where it says what that company does and in which area do they service. Right below that, you have a contact now. So right on the header of the website, you can see at least, I mean, 2 points of getting in contact with them right away, plus all of the information on how to get in contact with them and also what they do. That's just right when you arrive to that website. You don't even know how many times you arrive to a website and it doesn't have any of these elements. The other one, this is our another one of our clients, which is a vegan and vegetarian restaurant, and same concept here. Look at on the top left, we have the address of the business. Top right, we have a number we can call right away as soon as we arrive to the website. And remember, the address and the phone number have to be the same as what you have in your listings, because Google is looking at, oh, does that number match with the number on the website? Does this address match with the address on their website?
Consistency.
Consistency, 100%. Same thing, you see a button that says start your order online. So those are great examples, and on the right side you see more of like an extended version of that homepage, and we really encourage you, we'll talk about that too. The other aspect is search engine optimization. So that's the second part of having a website, and this is a completely different ballgame. Okay, we can have a website that looks amazing, but if we don't have this stuff, it's like having a business card. People will only see it when you hand it out, when you send it on an email, or when you tell people visit my website, but they're not going to be finding it organically on Google. So search engine optimization companies, SEO companies, basically what it means, it's work done on the back end of a website. So these are things that you don't see. Remember that Google is a robot. They can't see all your beautiful graphics. What they're going to see is what the information that we put in on the back end of the website. It helps you get found online, improves your ranking. And what we do and what search engine optimization companies do is they optimize that website and that content for a specific geographic area. So for example, Cleveland, Ohio. If you are a company that services that city, then you want your SEO to be targeted towards that. You cannot be targeting the whole world because you're competing with everybody, and whoever is closer to the customer, Google will consider also geographic distance.
Because think about it, for your customers, if you're cleaning houses or doing remodeling, you don't want to be driving to California because
Right.
you attracted someone from California to your website. You want it to be someone local.
Yeah, and Google takes that into consideration. It's a long game, guys. So this is gonna take between 6 months to a year to see results on your website. Driving traffic, you'll see all the traffic driving from Google searches. So don't get impatient with this. A lot of people think that this is a one-time thing that you do. No, it needs to be kept. You know, work needs to be done month to month, because remember, other companies are also doing that work. So you're competing with that. It evolves and changes constantly. Like we talked in the beginning, Google is considering every time different things to provide the best customer experience. So what we're saying now, you know, might be a little bit different down the line. And it's important that you have somebody that knows about all these changes. Like we said, ranking includes more than a website, and Google prioritizes video content. Remember, just think about as a person. Would you rather read something or would you rather watch something? I rather watch something. So Google now is prioritizing video content. It's very important, and this is a great tip for you. A lot of people don't have videos on their home pages. So go ahead and do and get a video set up and ready for your homepage that hopefully has your voice. Remember that the voice recognition devices are so important right now. We have smart showers, smart toilets. We have everything that is smart, that is voice recognition driven. Important that you have that video there.
Right. So you're saying probably at this point, Katie, Angelo, okay, all this technical stuff, like what does this do for me, right? So basically, what can I expect from doing SEO? Basically, you can expect more calls to your business because more people are finding you online, which equals more business, right? So that's kind of the result of SEO.
Right.
So what you can expect if someone does work on your website or you research a little bit about SEO is that you're going to have a fast loading site, which is very important because basically anything over 8-second, 9-second load time, people just bounce off of that page. It creates a bad experience for them. You'd have a website that's keyword targeted. So that means that if you are a remodeling company in Solon, then that keyword, which is what people will be searching on Google, will be on your website somewhere, and therefore you'll be found for that keyword. You'll have your location on there. It'll be Google friendly. And then you'll be on the first page of Google.
Right.
And I also wanted to add that it will also be mobile friendly and tablet friendly, because nowadays, if you have a website that's not optimized for mobile, it's creating a bad experience for the user. And again, not converting people into leads like you want. So I just wanted to show quickly, because we went over kind of all this technical stuff and everything. I just want you to see kind of the front end of what you see when you do this back end work on your website. So we typed in here janitorial cleaning in Cleveland. So maybe what somebody would search if they were wanting to go with a janitorial cleaning company. And so I wanted to dismiss these ones that say ad, because they're paying to be there. I want the people that are organically showing up, the first company that I see that shows up on here. So as you can see, it says Janiking of Cleveland Janitorial Services. So you can see they have the location and they have the industry and the service right in the title. So this was work that somebody had to do on the website. They had to put that keyword in there so they would show up on Google. So this is the title. They also had to put this keyword in the meta description, it's called. So this is, again, it doesn't matter the name, it's just that somebody put this. There are different plugins and stuff that you can put on your website to do those keywords in there. But you can see here, commercial cleaning, janitorial cleaning in Cleveland. So that's why that's popping up. Google is kind of reading the website and that SEO and then choosing to rank that one a little bit higher because of that. So that was just a quick example. We just wanted to show you kind of how people were showing up. As you can see, all these keywords in here, they're in the title, they're in the meta description, and that's why those companies are appearing higher than maybe some other ones. So aside, we talked about SEO a little bit. I also wanted to just talk about the website portion, the design portion. This is an example of someone that has all of their information right at the top. So you can see they have their phone number, they have their address here, they have also the email address and a pop-up form here. So this is something, if you're looking at your website right now and you're like, oh, do I have any of that information on the top? That might be something that you want to consider in the near future to make sure that it's a call to action website, that it like encourages the person coming to your website to take action. So you can see there's so many different opportunities. They can even make a payment here. So you can draw someone to your website and turn them into a customer.
All right, so let's recap a little bit. So we got people searching for something online, a product or a service, and then our listings, because we fixed them, right? All of you guys fixed it. It's looking amazing. Google is pulling them in front of the customer or the prospect in this case, and all the information is there. They are starting to contact you. In case they receive your website, and the customer and the prospect goes to your website and it looks amazing, design part, language, call to action, all your branding is working, all your SEO is working, right? Then they're gonna go ahead and, like Katie said, they're gonna take action and contact you. And that act of contacting you is called a conversion. You have converted that person from a prospect to a lead. And now the third aspect is social media. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've heard about social media like crazy. Whatever your feelings are about it, I mean, we talk to a lot of business owners that just straight out tell us, I hate social media. We get it. It takes a lot of time up. We understand. But the thing is, that's where people are. That's just where people are online, and it's important, especially now with Corona and not really knowing if we're going to go into another lockdown or something, that you're active on at least one platform. As you can see, these are kind of the 5 most popular ones, but that you're using this, at least all the tools that they're giving you, because it's free, if you know, to fill out all that information so you can get found, use your social media to get found online. So why social media? Like why maximize it? Because everyone's on it, especially now. They're all searching on there. So it's important that you're popping up on there when they're searching stuff. It drives traffic to your website. There's a place to put your URL and people can go to your website from your Facebook. Again, if we have all these pieces together, your website is a call to action website. You have many chances for them to take action on your social media platforms. It turns traffic into leads. It's a part of SEO because it's also a search engine. And you can also get found for local keywords. So as I mentioned, if you're a construction company in Cleveland, you can have that keyword somewhere in your description, in your social media platform. So people, when they're searching that, you pop up. You can communicate with customers through direct message, or they can call you or email you through there. And then it's also considered in Google searches.
Yeah, so the main platforms are as you know, is Facebook, is Twitter, is LinkedIn, is YouTube. Google Plus is Google My Business, and Instagram. Okay, so if you want to start somewhere, start with Facebook, no?
Yeah.
It's one of the most popular platforms. It drives a ton of traffic, and a lot of business is done through Facebook. So this social media stuff that we're showing you are for business. You're optimizing your social media for business. So we're talking about a business page. We're not talking about a personal Facebook profile, right? It is a Facebook page for your business, Twitter for your business, LinkedIn for your business, and so on and so forth. Instagram, you can switch it from personal to a business profile. Yeah. So basically, how do you use social media to get found online?
Yeah.
And the way we have to treat social media is the same way we treated our listings. Okay. And I know I'm super repetitive with this, but we see 95% of the time, people went with inaccurate information or discrepancy on the information, and they don't even know it because, you know, these profiles are hidden somewhere on the web, and you can never see them until a company comes and tells you about it, or maybe you never find out.
Right.
So business name, business address, hours of operation, contact information, services that you offer. Very, very important, because as Katie showed in the example, if we want a janitorial service, if we want an electrician, or if we want a roofing work done, we're going to look for roofing in Cleveland. We're going to look for roofing in Akron. Very important that you talk about your services. Fill out the description that every page, all of these profiles have.
Yeah.
So you're able to explain what you are about, and also upload all the pictures that you already have from your listings, that they look amazing. Keep the same logo and branding, right? That's it. That's what they mean by branding and logos and stuff. It's just that you have a consistency in design, in colors, in pictures. So it's a feeling, right?
Yeah, basically
that the company gives you.
The main thing to get found on social media, using it as a search platform, is just to use everything that they give you. That's it. If there's a description, if you can, on Facebook, you can put your services, you can put appointments, you can put all these different things. Just use everything that they give you, and that will help with getting found through your social media platforms online.
Yeah, remember, more baits on the water. That's what you want.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. So we got found online. We went through the first crucial moment. A lot of people don't know how to do this stuff. And now we had shown you how you can get found online, all the different ways you can get found online. And we hope that you incorporate all this stuff as soon as we're done with the webinar, right? Yeah. Now, Katie said that as soon as they find you, they have to contact you, right? That's all the effort you're putting in, is for them to contact you, to feel engaged with what you're offering, and that they finally pick up the phone or write you an email and they say, I need your services. I'm calling about this service that you have. I need to get a quote. So what we need is that somebody, for example, could call you and then they ask for a quote or something, or they are interested. They hang up the phone. You never heard of them, about them ever again, right? So we need a way to collect a client database. We need to build this, guys. Okay, so whether you do it in an Excel sheet, very, very basic, with the name of that prospect or that customer that you have. You can have even technology that can help you with this, to classify the different customers that you have, or the different leads that you have. Even the follow-ups, the follow-up system, you can see all the record that you have had with that client.
Right.
So this can get, super fun to manage that database, to be able to generate, of course, more business from existing customers and from new leads that are coming from your website.
Right. So whether you're a new business or you've been around for a while, if you just have in your head, you're like, oh, I don't have a marketing budget or something right now. If you just get it in your head that you have to collect your customers' information, and you start making a list, like Angela said, whatever, an Excel sheet to begin with, but you have their email, you have their phone number, you can do marketing in the future. Just get that in your head, that it's important to start collecting that, because it's going to end up being your digital asset. This list is going to be your asset when something like Corona, who would have thought that something like that would have happened? The people with the customer list were able to send them emails, say, hey guys, we're still open. Here's a 20% discount. Refer us and we'll give you a free whatever. We'll clean your house for free or whatever. They were able to do that because they had a client database.
A lot of people went quiet in COVID, even though they were open. So of course their business got hurt, and we've heard this a couple times. And remember, if everything goes away, let's say Instagram is not as popular as now, Facebook is not as popular as now, and then something new is in, right? You are still going to be able to have a client database. No matter what happens in technology, in the online world, you will always have this. And this is, like Katie said, and I repeat it one more time, is your digital asset.
Right.
The way you communicate with them is how you're going to keep those clients buying from you.
Right. So how can clients get in contact with you? What are some different ways? Well, there's many different ways, but these are just kind of the main ones that we suggest. So they can contact you by phone. They can call you. They can email you. They can contact you through your contact form on your website, which again, there's lots of different tools you can use to have that contact form on your website to make sure you're collecting the information, or they can set an appointment with you. So that's different calendars or something where they can schedule it. That's how they're sending their information and they're getting into contact with you. So in that process, what information should you be collecting from the clients? So that would be, you'd want to ideally collect their name, their address, phone. Obviously, if you're a business-to-business company, you would want to collect their company and company information. You want to have a record of services that they've purchased from you, and then also any payments. So again, this is when we're talking about the machine, we're talking about all these little parts and cogs of the machine working together. So that's our information, and you have all these records of this customer with you. So we wanted to show you quickly an example of the same website. If you go to the Contact Us form, as you can see here, there's a little contact form here. And again, there are some, we're not going to go into detail about which widgets and plugins and stuff, but you can get these plugins for your website. And basically, what you want to do here is, since Angela mentioned, they're already contacting you. They need the service, they need an estimate or an invoice or something. While you're collecting it, just kill two birds with one stone. Have them collect you, or have them contact you and tell you their information. And then also that you can collect that information and save it at the same time. So once they put in this information, when they press submit, then that will be saved into the database for you to communicate with them later. Obviously, this is a great little option to have as well, that you're telling a robot that you're not a robot, which I think is funny, but that this will kind of eliminate spam. So it's nice to have that little feature on the contact form as well.
There's technology as well that this form can sync up to whatever client management software you have.
Right.
So there are options out there.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So yeah, just to recap again, so you have the people, which is the fuel of the machine, going and searching online. They're finding you through your listings, your website, your social media, everything looks great. In the process of them contacting you, so you have call to action, you have all your SEO set up, you are collecting their information into your digital asset, your client database, right? So at this point, once you collect the information, what do you do with the information? Well, you want to be able to communicate with your clients. So that's the next step, is client communication.
Yeah, we do a lot of this, and we some of our clients, they have our personal phone and everything. We really like communicating with them, and I think that's what kind of like makes us stand out in terms of service. And I feel that you should communicate with clients, in a regular basis. Let them know what's going on, and the way you can do it is through email campaigns. You can do it through text campaigns. This means text messaging, and you can do it through social media marketing.
Yeah. So just the first one, the importance of email marketing, basically that it's cultivating a customer relationship, right? So this is something that, especially during Corona, with everything going on in the world right now, it's important that you're more than just a business trying to sell. We saw that in the beginning of COVID. It seemed very insensitive, these kind of bigger companies, okay, this promotion, buy this, whatever.
Buy a car in Corona times.
Yeah, so many car commercials that it's like people just lost all their jobs, or struggling. So in this way, this is the time to cultivate that customer relationship, be more personable. And as we mentioned, that once you have this list and you're able to do email marketing, this is your digital asset. No one can take it away from you. So that's something that you'll have. Facebook goes away, Instagram, like Angela said, nope, you're still going to have this and be able to communicate with your customers, and it keeps your customers updated. During Corona, everyone got affected. So that could be your hours of operation. That could be how you do business. It's good to be able to keep in contact with them. So aside from email marketing, it's also important that you do text marketing, which again, this is kind of something that's a little bit newer. Text marketing, we tell our clients too not to abuse this. This is available through different tools and everything, but this is something that just if you're maybe more of like an event-based business, or you have things that you need to tell your customers directly through text message, it is way more effective. It has a 5 times more open rate than email. People are more likely to respond and open them and read them. So this is just kind of a newer thing a way that you can keep in contact with your clients. And then the last part was social media. So we already talked about social media as a way for you to get found online, but it's obviously a great way to communicate. People's screen time has skyrocketed, including ourselves. So, maybe you have as well, been on social media a little bit too much since Corona started. As you can see here, everyone's on social media, 3.2 billion social media users across the world, which is crazy. People are doing research for products and services on social media platforms. So it's very important that you're on there. And the last statistic I think is very important for you to understand is 71% of consumers who have had a positive experience with a brand on social media are more likely to recommend the brand to their family and friends. And I also want to add that they're more likely to repeat, become a kind of long-term customer. So these are just 3 ways that you can communicate with clients. And I wanted to show you just really quickly, because I know social media takes up a lot of time and everything, and it probably would be best to find a scheduling tool or something like that. But even if you don't have that, I wanted to show you one example of this pizza shop in Akron, because before Corona, this was just a pizza shop. I had no opinion of it or anything. And I think that this guy, I've seen more of a personal side of him. Since Corona, he, for basically 3 months, he provided free lunches to inner city schools, and he just was cooking pizza for them all day and delivering those. As you can see here, look at this. Thank you for thinking of us and your appreciation day, allowing us the privilege of serving our health heroes. So he delivered pizza to these nurses and doctors, which is just amazing. He's always putting out promotions, but again, very community oriented. So it doesn't have to just be, here's our services, here's this, make it more personal. Make it, he's highlighting somebody from here. There's also a post I wanted to show you. As you can see here, he printed masks with his logo and his brand on them. So that's great that, people can probably buy those. That's another way that he can make income. But showing that, everything is clean here. There was another one down here that I wanted to show. That he made these with his brand on them. So again, this is all about being creative. You don't have to just put services and whatever and buy this. It can be creative. You can be showing them how clean you are, and how you're taking all these precautions. This is a part of building your brand, how people perceive you and what they think about you.
And a lot of people are watching this.
Yes.
In Corona times. They're kind of looking at who kind of is hiding away from it, right? In these terms, in these times of emergency, right? Emergency.
Yeah.
And remember that small businesses are all about the community.
Yes.
So you have to build that community aspect. I think a lot of big companies don't have this. They're lacking a lot of touch with the humans, right? So you as a small business, very, very important that you keep that touch, right?
Right.
Especially now. I mean, it's crazy what's going on.
Right.
The last part of this whole machine, I hope you get super, super excited, because this is what's going to keep you in business, right? Is how you get paid. And there's so many options right now on how you can get paid online. Remember, all of these different pieces are contactless.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all online. So very cool. If you were a business that, was receiving payments through checks, through cash,
paper invoices.
It's something that you don't want to do in this time, but also it's very inconvenient. Right? Technology has made this way faster. There's a lot of options out there on what you can do with it. So we'll show you a little bit of what can be done. I mean, before people think like, oh, PayPal, I can just send money and stuff, but it has gotten way more sophisticated now. Kitty, why don't you tell them ways they can get paid?
Different ways that you can get paid in a contactless way is there are programs where you can scan the credit card with your phone, or you can have an attachment or something. So you are able to take the credit card without physically touching it, which is, if you're a contractor, would be extremely, extremely important to have.
Right.
So you're not having to break those codes, and might become regulations here soon that you can't touch anything.
Yeah. Imagine you don't have a pen to write it down, or
Right.
the numbers and all that stuff. You just pull up your phone, turn on the camera with the app, you just boom, scan it.
Yeah, you can charge through a link. So again, this can be done through many different payment processors. This can be done through, PayPal or Stripe, whatever you use. You can send a link for someone to pay through there. You can send digital invoices and estimates with a payment button, where again, you can just send it through an email. So someone can pay through there. They're not having to worry about the paper invoices that might be infected or something. You can add a payment link or button to a website, which, as you saw on the website that we showed, that someone could make a payment right there from the first page of their website. Or you can just keep your clients' cards on file and have, sort of a recurring payment that you can set up. Or if they're a repeating customer, you can have their card on file, and then they'll be charged without you having to be there in person.
Right. So how better off would you be, and your business be, if you would send an estimate to a prospect, and let's say before you wouldn't hear about him or her again or something, and imagine now that they can pay digitally right away on that estimate, and you don't have to be waiting for checks. Hey, can you send the transfer and all that?
Right.
You can collect your money super fast, seamless, and you can of course keep doing more business and keep sending those digital invoices and estimates to other people.
Exactly. All right, so there you have it. This is the entire machine. This is the digital marketing survival guide of how to make it through this pandemic. And in the future, it's the people, which is the fuel going into the machine. They're finding you through your listings, website, social media. You're collecting all of their information into your digital asset, which is your client database. You're communicating with them, nurturing those relationships, turning them into lifetime customers. And then, of course, the most important part, as Angela said, you're getting paid in a contactless way.
So think about doing this over and over and over, and perfecting each one of these pieces will get you ahead of everybody else, because not everybody's doing this. And COVID is revealing who's not doing it and who's doing something. If you are an industry that is thriving right now, that's great. Get all the business that you can. But a lot of restaurants, for example, and other industries are suffering. Thankfully, the clients that are with us are doing great, right? We have restaurants and businesses that were not essential, that were shut down. But we're still able to ride this wave of COVID. So we encourage you to work on each one of these. The last thing we wanted to say is that if you have any questions, of course, we're going to open it up for questions. As a company, as an agency that we are with Katie, we help, of course, small businesses and family-owned businesses to get established online. So you can always contact us if you want to get any of those pieces fixed for your business. If you want all of them, we can do all of them, right? But if we can do it as small as if you need a website, for example, we can do that too. And if you have any questions, you can ask us. You can contact us through our email there, our phone number. There's our website, and also our Facebook.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and go back to here to see if there are any questions. If you'd like to ask it, you can just unmute your audio, or you can send it in the chat. So let's see, we'll go back. There have been a couple questions, so we'll just go back. Let's see, we'll go through the written questions first.
So how do I build a website that is not expensive, but to give me a presence online? Okay, of course, that's the $1 million question. It's a combination of stuff. And if you don't want to get into that, because it's going to take you a lot of time to figure it out, and a lot of the way you get good at website is by doing a lot of websites. So if you're a business owner and you don't want to spend months trying to figure stuff out and getting caught up with design issues, and maybe you don't have the design skills, right? This can get very, very complicated. But Google is offering free websites that we don't really recommend. But if you don't have anything I guess, do that.
Yeah.
And there are agencies offering website design and SEO, which is something that we offer as well. You're welcome to know a little bit more about some of the stuff and packages that we have for when it comes to online presence and digital marketing.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm actually Caroline. I'm on Bill's. My
Okay, hi, Caroline.
Hi. I saw the advice from TJ to also add a way for people to do closed caption for people with disabilities. And do you have any advice as to how to do that for everybody? That's a great offering.
Yeah, so that's in fact something that's being taken into consideration more and more with SEO. So there are different, of course, it's something that you'd have to look up and learn if you wanted to do it yourself. We can't promote any particular tools or anything, but there are different plugins and tools that you can use on your website, or you get someone to do that for you, to add that to your website. So when people with disabilities come to your website, that they can have it.
Right.
Yeah, it can be auditory. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Do businesses with the location in the name do better in SEO than other businesses?
If your company name has the location in it, that's great. It's not going to hurt you. It's of course going to help you, but don't change your name just for that reason.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have the location in your name, it's okay. You can do other elements of SEO to help you rank higher. Mm-hmm.
Great job, guys.
My question is
really good. One question based on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming with the meta tags and the imagery, you can change the logo to have that location in there, right? If you rename the image.
Yes.
Maybe you could explain a bit about that.
Yeah. So the way that Google is a robot, so it can't see an image and know what it is.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe in the future it can, but for now it needs to have something called alt text, which is basically you're describing a picture through, so Google can read what it is. So yes, you could include geotagging, which is what it's called, the location inside of the image.
So for example, this picture that we're seeing right now, which we see Martin, right? How would we describe this picture? We would say man in Zoom call.
Yes.
Right? Conference call. Englishman
Probably
in Zoom call.
Englishman.
English.
Yeah.
So that's a way you can describe it. Don't keyword stuff.
Yeah, it works.
Right? It works against you. It's exactly what the picture says for people that can, right? See.
Yes.
Right? Like,
we had one more question by Kelly. What do you think about website platforms such as Squarespace?
Yeah, all of these builders are good. I think they are a good option. They are a little bit pricier too, like Wix, Squarespace, and all that. It hurts a little bit of your SEO because it's built inside a frame, so it's not the same as when somebody does it from scratch. They're using like a drag and drop type of thing. But sure, use it. If that's all you have, go ahead and use it.
Yeah, we use WordPress personally, but yeah. Let's see, Marcia, you had a question. I saw, you were trying to.
Yeah, the question, I typed it earlier. I think I said, if you had a home, I have a home-based business.
Okay.
So I have my home address listed on my Google page.
Okay.
So, and I just kept hearing you say an address for a business, an address for a business. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, and we're actually a home-based business as well, but we have an address, an office address in
Marcia.
Yes.
Also, there's you know how they have PO boxes?
Yes.
There's a new service that your PO box doesn't say PO box, so it actually, a lot of the PO box locations you should check into, but a lot of PO box locations have an actual address. It shows an office business address, and not a PO box, and not expensive at all. So you should check into that.
Okay.
And that's kind of what we do as well. So
Right.
that would be a good
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, so it doesn't say P.O. box. It actually says an address at a actual location, but it's really a P.O. box.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a feedback survey, as you can see in the chat box. When you go to the bottom here of the Zoom platform, you'll see a little feedback survey link on Google Docs that we have prepared for you with Wyatt as well, so that you could please fill it out. Let us know what you thought about this presentation. And so we have an idea, right?
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody who participated. I think we had about 21 at our high point, 21 participants. That was very good. Like Katie and Angelo said, we have a survey that we would love for all of you to complete, because we want to get your feedback back. In addition to, we're going to be doing a lot of sessions like this. We're going to be, we're moving. We can't do some face-to-face meetings now until we get the all clear that we can start doing that. But we want to make certain that we're still putting valuable information in front of you to help your business continue to grow and succeed. And so that feedback of what other types of webinars or sessions that we can bring live to you would be great. So again, I just want to thank everybody for participating, and I hope you enjoyed the session and it was most valuable to you.
And then we wanted to offer as well, for everyone who came and stayed until the end, we appreciate you. And if you want, we're going to put our email in there as well. If you would like to get a free business analysis, if you email us with the subject free business analysis, then we'll get in contact with you and we'll give you a free business analysis. If you could send all your company information, that would be good, but we can do that after so we can do the analysis. So
yeah, no strings attached.
Yeah.
You can get to see an x-ray of your business, how it's performing in all the different parts that we show you today.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
We appreciate your time, your listening,
Yeah,
and hopefully you got to learn some stuff from us.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone stay safe out there, and thank you again for joining.